Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to another Design with Nicole Nowosad. Today we are going to have a lot of fun with Decofoil. Today I'll be using the Decofoil adhesive pen and various different patterns here of the Decofoil. You can see it comes in a little fun tube. There's about 5 sheets in each tube, and it goes a long way. A little goes a long way. So I recently found my Decofoil pen that I've been meaning to try for a long time. And the first thing I'm going to do here is use it just to add a little bit of foil to pattern paper. So these are some butterflies I've cut out of pattern paper. You could also do the same thing with pre-cut die cuts. And I'm just running the pen along the die cut or the butterfly in this case to the areas I want to have adhesive. So you can kind of see here on the red butterfly, it's getting a little darker where I'm putting this adhesive. And it is a little wet, so you do need to let it sit for a few minutes just to dry. It doesn't take long. It maybe takes probably about 60 seconds to dry to a clear state. Once you start putting this on, you'll see it's kind of a bit of a milky white kind of finish. And then once it's ready for the foil, it's clear with a little bit of a sheen. So that's how you know you're ready to go to the next step. So while I have done these, I'm just going to set them aside and get the rest of my card done. I just added some pattern paper there to the back, and now I'm going to choose my foil. So I'm going to just use plain gold foil for the butterflies and my sentiment here on my card. The one thing you want to do is make sure that you put the foil side up. So on the reverse is like a silver backing, and on the front is the pattern of the color of your foil. So in this case, I'm using just a plain gold color, and I'm just going to line my sticky pieces up and then add the foil to the top so that the shiny gold color that I want is on top. Now you can run this through a little laminator, but also another thing you can do is just run it through your die cut machine. Just like you see I have here, I have a Cuttlebug, and I'm using a sandwich that you would use for a very thin die. And I just added a piece of cardstock in there in case there's any glue that spills over. And as you can see, you just completely run it through the machine and then peel off the foil, and everything is all shiny and super pretty. Very, very easy. So if you want to add just a little bit of sparkle, the adhesive pen works really, really well. So you can take really any pattern paper, any sort of die cut embellishment you might have in your stash, anything thin enough that you can run through a die cut machine like my Cuttlebug or a Big Shot, for example. You could probably add foil to almost anything. So very easy. You can kind of see here, it looks pretty good. It adds a nice little shine. Way less messy than adding glitter. And I'm just going to finish off my card really quick and adding my little sentiment. And that is really, really it. So a really, really, very, honestly, very fast way to add a little bit of glitter. A little bit of sparkle is to use the Decofoil adhesive pen to pattern paper or die cuts. So I know we all have stuff like that in our stash, and we want to add a little bit of, change it up a little bit. It's a perfect way to do that. Another thing you can do is take the pen, and I have a digital die cut design here from the Silhouette shop that I've just cut out, and I'm just running it over the pen over the whole top of the die cut. I'm actually going to go over twice just to make sure I don't miss anything. And you really just want to make sure you cover as much as possible the design. Anywhere you don't have the glue, the foil's not going to stick. So you really want to just be careful that you're getting something like this completely covered. And when you cut your foil, what I should have mentioned earlier is you really want to make sure it overlaps your whole design. You don't want to have any parts that are missing because it's a little tricky to go back and fix those up. So I'm just going to cut a piece larger, but not too large that it won't fit through my machine here. And I'm just going to roll it through my sandwich and peel it off really easily. You can see, voila, I have this super fancy, this is kind of like a gold and a pink foiled ombre, which is really, really pretty. So I'm just going to quickly start the assembly for my card by adding some pop dots behind that and then getting my card base kind of all lined up. Really simple. So just imagine all the different digital die cuts you could do. You could color right over any sort of, it really wouldn't matter too much what color your base paper is. It only really matters if you don't get it covered completely, so white's always a good option, but just imagine you have little scraps of die cuts that you've left over from a project you haven't used and you want to jazz them up. You can just run them through and add Decofoil. So the last one, you can actually create your own design. Because it's a pen, you can write or draw whatever, or doodle whatever you'd like with the pen. So I'm just going to start my card in this case with a little bit of a border with some fun patterned paper around the outside edge, and then I'm going to add my sentiment with the foil pen. So really, really easy. The adhesive goes on quite quickly, so that's why I wanted to have this done first, so that I can just go ahead and do my foiling after I have the background design all done, and then the card will pretty much be ready to go. So it will be really that fast. And I just have some scraps here you can see I'm using. And so now it's time, I'm just going to sew that around, and then it's time to add my sentiments. So the rest of my cards all say hello, so I'm just going to go with that same theme just to make it simple for the video. And I'm just going to make sure I'm shaking out my pen and just dabbing it onto my wipe away desk there, and just to make sure I have the glue going down. And I just wrote the word hello. You can kind of see it there. It's a little shimmery. You want to really make sure it is tacky and it dries. Like I said, it takes about a minute, doesn't take very long. And I'm just going to cut my piece of teal foil here and just gently rub it down to stick, and then run it through my machine one last quick time. And there I go. I'm all done. What you'll see, I'll be able to pull that off. And it's a little shiny under the light there, but really pretty with the teal foil. I really like that color. And so now it's time just to add the embellishments. So I've gone ahead and just added a few things to my cards. You can see that one there with my handwritten hello. Much as I don't like my handwriting, this foil really makes it look better than I think it does. So I'm totally going to do that one again. And this is the die cut coloring. You can see I have some of the white showing through. I probably didn't do the greatest job coloring through on that, but I kind of like the distressed look as well. So really fun. I know I'll be doing that as well again. And finally, how fun is this one to add just a little bit of foil to some of those pre-made embellishments or paper that you already have in your stash. Really pretty, really simple, and no one would know that you did that on your own. So I am pretty much glad I dug out that Decofoil pen that I have been meaning to try. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in a few weeks with another design by video. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.